schedules tend to be fickle.
Welcome to the JesseAF show. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome to my daily podcast.
Hey everybody, my name is Jesse Grossbohlin and welcome to the JesseAF show. Today is Thursday, September 5th, 2019, episode 207 of my daily podcast. Yeah, that's right, daily. That means every single day I'll be posting a new episode, so please check in tomorrow for my next episode. I'm on Google Play Music, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and YouTube, so if you have any of those platforms, please consider subscribing. That way you get notifications for whenever I post a new episode. So, this week is all about figuring out my normal schedule, so so last week, I basically already did figure out my schedule, but this week, it's just kind of finalizing my schedule. So, every single year, bus drivers go for a dry run, and that makes sense. It's a run that you do to figure out what the times are that you would be picking up your students. Makes sense. So, these times can be a little off sometimes. And when you're trying to figure out your schedule, things happen, right? So this morning I had about maybe 5 kids on the bus, maybe 5 stops. I don't know. It was something like that. It was about 5. So sometimes it's like, okay, I definitely told the parents the right times, but at the same time, did I really tell them the right times? I think I did. I mean, I told them the times that were on the paper that I have, but it's like, when I look back at these times now, I'm like, some of these are a little off. So things happen like that, where times just kind of slip, or they end up being different times for some weird reason. I don't know why I'm still in my seatbelt. So having a schedule and conforming to it with the idea that, anything could happen. Let's say a train stops me and I have to wait for a train, and maybe that's 15 minutes I have to wait for the train. Who knows? Time can be all over the place. Times for drop-offs can be all over the place because maybe I might have more students this year on my high school route. So maybe my Catholic kids might get home even later. I don't know. I'd hope not, but things happen, So life is always about being flexible. And when things are just not exactly lining up the way they should be, or the way I thought they would be, you just kind of have to roll with it. You have to reevaluate yourself. You have to reevaluate how you scheduled and maybe what went wrong, and things do go wrong, of course, it makes sense. But and then there are students that weren't included on the list that actually were supposed to be on the bus. Stuff happens. So this beginning of the school year it's been a little hectic, because not everything is perfect, not everything is squared away right before school starts. I mean, it should be. It definitely should be. And sometimes, or most of the time, it's not even me that's at fault. It's like the school district for not including the certain students on the list, that are actually on my bus. For instance, there was a instance where there were me and another driver had one student on both of our buses at the same time. Now, how does that happen? Stuff gets a little screwed up. So you have to look at the way everything works, and you just kind of have to deal with everything that gets thrown at you. You have to roll with the punches of schedule, and schedules can be all over the place, especially when you're not exactly sure when you're going to be at a certain place at a certain time, because things happen. Maybe there's a car accident, maybe there's this, maybe there's that. But I literally just looked at my times again, and I was like, some of these times just don't line up right. But I had students on the bus this morning, so at the same time, it's like, well, these students were ready for the bus when I got there, so maybe they should have waited around at the bus stop even earlier. Maybe they should have, because most of the time I'm early. If you think about it, I like being early to things. I don't like being late at all. So I'd rather be earlier than later. But at the same time, it doesn't work right sometimes, because every so often when you're too early at a bus stop, maybe the parents aren't there yet. So you kind of have to deal with it, and you have to deal with their schedules and the kids and how they want to wake up at a certain time or whatever it is. So every once in a while, you'll have a kid come into the bus stop a little bit later. It makes sense. That's normal. But things happen, and people learn, and you get better at things as you go along. I mean, to be honest, this is the first week. There's only 2 days for the Catholic kids this week. Only 2 days. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense for it to be a little off, because you just have to kind of expect it. Because yesterday when I went out to pick up one of my kids, only one kid, because her school was open, but no other schools were open except for Kingston City School District, but the other Catholic school wasn't open. So I went to her stop to pick her up, but nobody was there. The mom, whatever. Things happen. And then you look at all the other kids that are all over the neighborhood. They're looking at you like, why aren't you picking us up? And it's like, okay, well, this is the first day of school. It makes sense. And then today, I didn't even see any of those kids today. And it's like, where are all these other kids? Where are all these other kids for all these bus stops? They weren't there. It's like, was the other bus driver on time yesterday? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But it's like, if I had crossed paths with that other bus driver, I would have been even later, because there were a lot of kids that I would have had to stop for him to, Crazy stuff. First week. School is nuts. Eventually I want to be able to say that I'm not a school bus driver anymore, but for the time being, I will be a school bus driver, and for however long it takes me to become independent with my own business, I'll be driving. Why not? It's not a big deal. I really do enjoy driving the school bus. It just can be a really, really crazy job, because this happens, that happens, all these little crazy things happen all the time. It gets really confusing, if anything. And you just have to be always on top of everything, even if it gets crazy. And it's pretty tough to do that, but I do it pretty well. I'm actually really good at what I do, and I make sure that the situation never gets out of control. I stay on top of things. it can be a little stressful, though. So, school bus driving, yeah, is a lot of fun, but it's really stressful. And the hours aren't amazing. So, you just kind of have to roll with the punches. That's life, right? So, yeah, today was fun. It was a whole lot of fun this morning. This afternoon is going to be even more fun because the kids are going to be hyper. First day of school, yay, but they're also going to be pretty tired because they probably didn't have a good schedule during the whole summer, so they might be really tired. Who knows? So, yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed today's episode. I know I did. I will see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you have a really great day. And please, if you have kids and your bus driver's off a little for the first couple days, give them a break, because everything is just coming at you, and maybe the schedule is all off on his end or her end, because maybe a kid wasn't added to the list that now he has to add to the list, and now he has to figure out the time for that kid. And it's well, now I have to leave a little bit earlier because that kid needs to be picked up at that time. So it can be a little nuts. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.